Welcome to Find Myself Free, the podcast, where we break up with booze, balance our hormones, and heal from the inside out. I'm Ellie Young, certified alcohol-free life coach and functional nutrition practitioner in training. And I'm here to help you break free from the drinking cycle and unlock your best health. After decades of gray area drinking, I was fascinated by my own capacity for change. Now I've made it my mission to pay this gift forward by sharing the biggest game-changing lessons from neuroscience to positive psychology to functional nutrition, all so you can take back your power, balance your hormones, use food as medicine, and feel better than ever. Sobriety is just the beginning. Let's heal, thrive, and create a life you love. Let's dive in. Before we dive in, can we just be honest for a second? You're here because you're sober curious, or maybe you're ready to take a real break from drinking and you want support that actually sticks. And if you're like a lot of us, you've already tried some things. You read the Quit Lit, maybe you've signed up for a course, maybe you've done the 30-day resets, and yet nothing has really stuck. I was the same. And it's not because you're weak. It's because those tools weren't working with your body. They were working against it. I want to invite you into something completely different. Stop Drinking with Cycle Syncing. It's the first program designed to help you take a break from alcohol by syncing with your hormones. So you're flowing with your body's natural rhythm instead of fighting it. Did you know there are actually 2 times each month when you are biologically more vulnerable to cravings, over drinking, or even relapse? Your dopamine sensitivity literally shifts during your cycle, making you want pleasure and connection more. And if you don't know it's coming, it can catch you off guard. That's the kind of life-changing awareness you will build inside this program. You'll get cycle-synced meal guides, detox strategies, weekly pep talks, and real support, all personalized to your biology, not random willpower hacks. Right now, you can grab $50 off with the code GIVEME50, but only through April 28th. DM me the word ready, or you can go to my website, findmyselffree.com, and sign up for the Stop Drinking with Cycle Syncing course. This isn't about quitting drinking. It's about leveling up how you feel every single day. Let's go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Find Myself Free. I'm going live today with my podcast, and I'm just going to come out and say it. Alcohol isn't helping you live your best life. It's the thing quietly stealing it. Yeah, I said it. You're doing everything else right. You're eating clean. You're working out. You're busting your ass to show up as your best self. But this one little habit is quietly unraveling all of that work every single day, even if you're not drinking every single day. So let me ask you, what would it feel like to wake up every day fully charged, clear mind, steady mood, no bloating, no shame, no dragging yourself around the day, faking that smile? And by the way, if you have been drinking and then you actually give yourself enough perspective, you do feel fully charged. Like 30 days out, 60 days out, you're going to wake up with this. The contrast is so sharp, it's going to blow your mind. And a bigger question is, would you still reach for that drink if you didn't feel like you had to? Because here's the truth. People might question me on this and challenge me on this, but most of us aren't drinking for fun anymore. We're drinking because we think we need to. So follow me here. I need to drink to relax. I have to drink to relax. I need to drink to connect with other people, right? So I feel social, right? I need to drink to feel normal. People get defensive around this, but truly, if I asked you to stop drinking, and you're like, yeah, I could totally stop drinking. But then you're like, but how am I going to have fun? How am I going to relax? How am I going to connect? These things are deep-seated, unconscious beliefs. We are so ingrained to think we need alcohol to do these things. But what if everything you're chasing with that glass in like it's literally a liquid in a glass was actually already inside of you and you truly didn't need it. There was no pull. There was no sense of missing out. Do you think it's possible? It totally is. And today I'm going to introduce you to a tool that changes everything. Honestly, it might be one of the biggest unlocks, if you're a woman, that you've ever had. Maybe you've heard of it before. Cycle syncing. I know I preach about it a lot, but if you're new here, welcome and welcome to cycle syncing. But maybe your first thought was, girl, I can barely get dinner on the table and you want me to plan my life around my hormones? You must have so much time on your hands. True story. That's a real quote from a close friend. And no, I definitely didn't take offense, except I did. I totally did. But here's what I want you to hear. Cycle syncing isn't more work for you. It's simple awareness. It's giving yourself a weather map so that you're not sailing blind into every storm, right? When you know what your body's doing and why you stop feeling like life is happening to you left and right, you're in victim mode, you stop sabotaging yourself because you can plan for the rough patches, right? It's honestly one of the biggest acts of self-compassion that I've ever learned. You're no longer shaming yourself when you hit a wall and you actually need to rest. You're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater every month when things don't go your way, right? You're just starting to see the pattern and you're working with it. Why have we never been taught this? Why have we never zoomed out on our lives and be like, oh yeah, there's certain parts of the month where I'm like on it, I'm on fire and I'm planning and I'm organized. And there's other parts of the month where I'm just like, well, I'm a shit show. And like all that motivation and all that confidence is like gone and I'm questioning everything, right? We need to zoom out. We need to use this information and stop judging ourselves and stop shaming ourselves about our hormones and start to like learn. Because when you pair that awareness with quitting drinking, it's a completely different game. And I know because I lived this. I spent years trying to stop drinking, right? I don't know if I consciously was ever aware. I never wanted to get too close to this idea that I couldn't stop, right? Because I would go through these phases, probably in my like follicular phase when I was extra motivated, where I'd be like, I'm gonna do this cleanse, right? I'm not gonna drink for however many days. I'm gonna do this 30-day reset. And I spent years trying to do these things, right? I would commit and then I would still end up frustrated, stuck, and convinced there was something wrong with me, right? I would fail most likely at the same point every month. But now that I know about cycle syncing, there's 2 points of the month when you are more vulnerable. And I'll get into that later. But meanwhile, my body at the time, it felt like a total mystery. I vaguely knew when I was ovulating, right? Because unless you're trying to make a baby, you're really not paying attention to your cycle. It's like other than the baby making phase when you're like, "Hey, you got to pinpoint that ovulation window." Most women have no clue about their cycle, let alone that each phase is doing to you and how it affects like your mentality, your energy levels, your work ethic, your metabolism, your sleep. It's completely it's controlling every part of your life, right? And my period, by the way, would always surprise me. I was always like, "Whoa, oh my gosh, well there it is." I would have these days where I would be bloated. I was like losing my mind over the littlest things. I would cry at commercials, feel completely out of control. And then only afterwards would I be like, "Oh, that's why. That makes sense." And every effort I made too, whether it was quitting alcohol or just like trying to lose weight or any effort, like who knows, I never even overlaid this into like other efforts in my life of like my job or my family or like trying new things, right? I I never thought about my hormones. It felt like I was fighting myself. There would be these great phases and then there would be these phases where I'd fall apart and I had no idea why, right? I didn't realize that in my drinking journey that I was literally planning without super conscious awareness. I was trying to do this really big, hard, difficult thing without ever checking the weather, right? So I love this weather metaphor because it's truly like your hormonal weather. It's a month long and it's you go through these different phases. You go through these different climates, if you will, right? So if you are planning an epic voyage, because breaking up with booze is truly an epic voyage, right? You are trying to get to this promised land, right? You're trying to get to this place where you're like, I'm going to lose weight. Let's be honest. Most women are like, that's the primary goal. Like, I want to look younger. I want to lose weight. I want to have energy back. I want to sleep. Oh my God, your sleep in your 40s becomes the most precious thing ever. Alcohol is sabotaging it. So, like, whether you know it or not, like that's what you're after. You're after this transformation. You don't want to give up the alcohol because you think you're giving up your fun and your joy and your social life and all these things, but you know you want these other things. You know you want to wake up with no anxiety. You know you want to wake up not with bloodshot eyes, not puffy, like having felt rested, having energy for your day, not like on edge and wanting to like snap at everybody, right? We have all been there. That's the promised land, right? So you're getting on this ship and you're like, take me to the land where I no longer want to drink and I'm enjoying myself and I don't even think about booze. And it's just like, I'm happy. I have all the things I want. I can live my best life and it doesn't require me to drink this stupid substance, right? So if you were planning this trip and you're boarding the ship, right? A truly life-changing adventure, you wouldn't like get on when you're like, "Oh wait, I see a bunch of storm clouds rolling in and it's the wind's starting to pick up and like I'm looking at this boat, it doesn't look ready, right? There's things falling off of it. There's not enough food in storage, right? Maybe the staff on board is like a little like, suspect, right? You wouldn't get on that ship. So why are we not approaching this epic change in our world, which is drinking or any change in your life without paying attention to this hormonal weather, right? So you need to prepare. You need to prepare yourself for the rough seas, right? Cycle syncing is literally your weather map. It's not about stopping the storms. We cannot stop our hormones. We can improve them, though. We can improve our PMS. We can improve the flow. We can sync up with it in a way that is just like all of a sudden it's not this disaster every month. I promise you, I can teach you how to do that. So it's not about stopping these storms. It's just about seeing them coming. And it's about fortifying your ship. It's about pacing yourself, right? Building the stamina and the self trust that it takes to make it through and to keep moving forward toward the life that you actually want, even though you're stuck in this little bit of a rough patch, right? You're going to stop blaming yourself because, yes, some days are going to be messy, but you knew this was coming and you planned for it and you prepared yourself. And all of a sudden you're like, huh, yeah, of course, this makes sense. I don't have the energy today. I need to have some self care. I need to say no to that thing. I'm going to stay home and I'm not going to tempt myself. I'm not going to put myself in a place where I want to self medicate, where I want to drink to cope, to get through these things. Because let's be honest, we have been fed a cultural message that when things suck, you drink. You just do, especially for moms. We have been taught mommy wine culture, like you need a break, girl. You've had a hard day. Life is getting really hard. Oh, you just need that glass of wine. I mean, it is a Friday right now as I record this. And I know there is countless women out there who are just counting down until 5 p.m. Or maybe you start even drinking earlier like I did back in the day. Like Friday, like all bets were off, man. I would start at like noon. I live at the beach and it was like, man, we'll skip over just how aggressive I was. But let's be real. When you stop blaming yourself for these hard days and you go, "Oh, it makes sense. This is my biology and I've actually shored myself up and I can do this," right? Because you didn't expect it to be perfect. And you know what your body needs. And you know what? It's not alcohol. You know how to actually take care of yourself because you know what you need in the back half of your cycle. That is cycle syncing. You need particular nutrition that is going to help you boost progesterone. It's carbs, by the way, everybody. Progesterone loves carbs. You're allowed 279 more calories. Not that we are calorie counters in this program whatsoever, but like getting those calories from nature's carbs like sweet potatoes, my favorite. By the way, side note, I get really bad migraines. Part of the reason I've been on this crazy journey is because I have really crippling migraines. And I think I found another strategy: sweet potatoes and caffeine. That's it. I'm just going to say it right there. Sweet potatoes and caffeine. My body was really trying to have a migraine. I'm about to start my period any day now. And I just got myself some sweet potatoes. By the way, hit them in the air fryer with some nutritional yeast, olive oil, some seasoning. Oh, they are so darn good. I'll eat a giant serving of sweet potatoes. I will not be bloated, by the way, because that's what my body wants during this phase. It is like it's not like you're overeating McDonald's French fries, right? And some extra caffeine. I don't really drink coffee. I'm a matcha girl, but when I'm in this late luteal phase, I have a little more caffeine. Oh my God, I think I just cured my migraines. Stay tuned. We'll see if this strategy works next month. Okay, so back to cycle syncing. So it's not just the bad days that you gotta get through, right? The storms, the stormy weather, right, that you know that's coming, right? Your late luteal phase. There's also the times of the month that are gonna feel super like, "Ooh, I'm excited. I wanna have a good time," right? I call this the estrogen party, right? She's a diva. So basically, there's gonna be bad days and then there's gonna be good days where you're like, "I wanna celebrate. I'm kinda bored. Like, I wanna, like, get a little wild. I wanna get crazy." I definitely had these days. Like, I could tell when I had that little fire in me that was like, I knew I kinda wanted to get wild. I don't even know how to describe it, like, right? I just felt that little itch, that little bit of like, like, I need to go stir things up. I need to get into something." And usually I would start drinking at home and start calling friends and be like, "What are we gonna do tonight? Let's go, blah, 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 blah," That was estrogen. She loves a party, right? She peaks mid-cycle. This is when you are ovulating, right? And she makes you crave connection. She makes you crave fun and pleasure. And it makes sense from a biological standpoint, right? This is when we were designed to try and procreate. So you are more sensitive to pleasure. You have more testosterone, which actually creates more drive, more sexual drive. You have a harder time actually saying no to things during this time because you are more sensitive to dopamine. So you are going to experience higher highs. Things are going to taste better. You are going to crave more. Whoa, mind blown. Did you know this at all about your ovulation phase? Did you have any idea that you are actually more vulnerable during this phase of your month to making questionable choices because you are actually like in pursuit, right? You are like, I want these things and I'm going to go get them this month. In fact, studies actually show that women are more likely to overdrink during ovulation than any other time. Studies show that women, when they are in their late luteal phase, that's the phase right before your period, when you're feeling low and you're having PMS, that's when you're most likely to relapse. If you have been, you know, I know people don't like that word in this space, right? Relapse, because people are afraid of addiction. But if you will, that they're more likely to cave, drinking to cope during that phase. This is the phase when you would drink to overdo it, right? When you're like, one more shot, right? Estrogen is telling you to pour the drink, and then that dopamine receptors is going to pour the second drink because it's going, woo, this feels even better. This also, estrogen and our hormones, is why women are actually more prone to addiction, more prone to all of the bad outcomes that come with alcohol. It's because of our hormones. It's because of these fluctuations. We everything is enhanced for us, right? It's estrogen. How have we not known this? Seriously, why are we not taught these things, right? If I could rewind time and like go look back at my life and look at all of the bad decisions I made, all of the impulsive things that I did, wouldn't it be interesting to like be like, was I ovulating at the time? I would love to know that. Was estrogen at the wheel being like, go girl, go get that stuff? Who knows, right? Cycle syncing helps you forecast these moments so that you are not caught off guard. You will not always sail through smoothly. Life happens. We cannot choreograph our lives to perfectly, sync up with these things. But with the right tools and the awareness, you will feel more equipped and you will not be blindsided. You will not be like, why is this happening to me? Why one week was I so motivated and now this week I can't do anything? And oh, fuck it. I'm just going to drink the bottle of wine and eat the Cheetos, right? No, you do not need to do that. So that is exactly why I created Stop Drinking with Cycle Syncing. So you guys know I'm an alcohol-free life coach. I love coaching you through the mindset work, changing your subconscious beliefs about alcohol that are driving your behavior. And I love cycle syncing, which is something that I got into after I already gave up alcohol. But now I am marrying the two because had had this roadmap when I was first trying to stop drinking, I would have felt like so much prepared for battle. I would have felt like, okay, I know the weeks that are going to be the most challenging. I know during ovulation that, man, this is going to be the time when I'm going to feel a little restless and I'm going to really crave and I'm going to want to go out. And I could like shore myself up with different behaviors, with different nutrition, with different strategies and keying up my environments, right? Environments is such a huge piece to not drinking, you guys. We are cued by our environments, right? And if you put yourself in an environment that is cycle synced appropriate, that is going to help you, It's a game changer. It's like you are like leveling up and you are like seeing the world from up above and you're like going, that makes sense and that makes sense. And I know how to do this now, right? Such a difference. So that's exactly why I put this program together. It literally came to me while I was in Costa Rica a week and a half ago. I had no intention of doing a group course, but people have been asking me to do one. And I was like, okay, this kind of is falling into place perfectly because I wanted to offer this right after spring break when people most likely overdid it. Maybe you were like, it was your first time, like me, in a swimsuit, and you're like, damn, I want to get leaner for summer, right? I want to look better than I did at spring break this summer. Let's all be real. We are all motivated to look our best, right? And cutting alcohol is a huge component of that. So this little window right now in between spring break and your summer starting when you're like, I have no time. I can't put energy into making these life changes. Summer's too busy and we're going on vacation. How could I not possibly not drink during summer? Girl, I have so much to talk to you about, but this is your window. This is your carving out this little space and time where you can start to shift your mindset about alcohol and you can overlay a month-long strategy of cycle syncing onto this and go, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to commit. I'm going to try this 28-day cycle syncing to stop drinking. I swear, it could be, what if it's just the thing? What if it's the tipping point that you needed so that you hit your summer and you're like, this is the best I felt in a decade, right? When I hit 30 days, it's you kinda have to pinch yourself because 'cause you're like, "Does it really feel this good? Like, is this a joke? Like, how did I not know how much better I could feel?" Because for so long, I was so used to drinking all the time, and I'm not yes, I had bad days, yes, I had blackouts, yes, I had really bad hangovers here and there, but for the most part, it was just, like, kinda that chronic, average level of drinking, that gray area drinking where you just chronically feel overtired, anxious, depressed, and you just aren't your best. One of these days, I will feel comfortable enough sharing my before and after videos. I have never, or photos. I have never done this on Instagram. I've been asked to do it and I don't know, I don't like it. And I know some of the bigger accounts, that's kind of what they focus on. They like to show, like, this is how bad I was. This was the car accident. And look at where I am now. Right. And I don't know. I honestly think it's because I'm still too ashamed on some level about how bad I look in some of these photos and that, like, my kids are with me in all of them, that I'm just like, I was drunk in that photo. I was just barely getting by. Like, the eyes, I can see it in my eyes. I can see it in my puffy face. Like sometimes my husband will share a photo with me from long ago. And I'm just like, yeah, I was totally buzzed in that photo. And it's really sad. And so I think it's just still hard for me to share that side of it because I didn't know what I know now. And I want to go back and hug her and tell her everything's going to be okay. And you're going to get out to this other side. And like, your life is going to be completely different. And today is my son's 14th birthday, and I stopped drinking when he was 10. I can't believe that I drank for the first 10 years of his life. And I went and did this little video montage where I went back on all of his birthdays. And so the last 4 birthdays, I have been alcohol free, and it was amazing. Like you can see the light in my eyes. You can see me like connecting and just, I'm there. I am present for these birthday pictures that I found, right? And then it gets a year back to where I was still drinking. And it's just chaos. You can see the disconnect in my photos. You can see like his birthday was a reason for me to party, right? And like as they got younger and younger, when these birthday parties were like, they're not even about the kids. It's an adult party and everybody's drinking. And so like every one of his birthdays, like have a glass and I look half masked and a little bit faded. And it's just it still gets me. And but I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful I'm here now and that it didn't take something really awful happening, that I was able to make this shift. And I have all these lessons for you. I know what it takes. I know what it takes. And this program, I'm going to offer you so many cool lessons in here. And I want to know how to best deliver it. So I want to hear from you what I can do to make this easier on you, because I know I'm offering Friday support calls, but I know that doesn't work for everybody. So I'm like, would you like a private podcast series instead? Would you like 10-minute pump up pump up videos. I'm an athlete, so I like to get pumped. I like Friday pump up things. Help me get through this weekend, right? I'm going to give you cycle synced meal guides so that I know you don't have time. You can barely get dinner on the table like me, right? But if you had a database where you could be like, I'm ovulating, give me 3 breakfasts, 3 lunches, and 3 dinners that I can make while I'm ovulating. You can print these recipes and these grocery lists, and you're like, boom, boom, boom. Or if you're not someone who likes to cook, I have my favorite meal guides. Excuse me, I need a drink. I have my favorite meal delivery systems, and I'll teach you how to order and cycle sync your meal order so that when you're ovulating, you're getting the right kind of meals. When you're in your late luteal phase, you're getting the right kind of meals. It's such a game changer. And then it just shows up, boom, boom, boom. You have the right food. You don't even have to think about it. I'm trying to make this as no-brainer for you as possible. I'm going to give you detox strategies, weekly pep talks, you guys. But I want to hear from you. I want to know what you need that makes this program doable, that makes it doable for you. And I forgot, I have a new guarantee. It is like a feel good guarantee, or it's free. I want you to sign up for these kind of programs and think absolutely no risk. I want to guarantee that if you do the program and you follow along and you participate, you will feel better, or else it's free. If you don't feel better at the end of the program, but you've participated and you've done the work and you've put in the time, and you don't feel better, I will refund your money, no questions asked. And so I want you to know that. Feel better, or it's free. Guarantee. Okay. So check out my website. It's called Stop Drinking with Cycle Syncing. And here's the little Easter egg at the end of this podcast if you made it this far. If you want $50 off the program, and it is for this week only, this offer ends on April 28th. If you were listening, for $50 off, use code GIVEME50 when you go to checkout. Give me 50. It'll take $50 off the program. It's a cheap program for what you get, you guys. I have put so much amazing content. I've been doing this for 4 years. 4 years. I have tons of education that has gone into this. You guys, where else are you going to get? Let's be honest. I'm a certified alcohol-free life coach, but I am a self-taught hormone and biohacker, and I've been doing it for years with success. But now I'm in school for functional nutrition. So now I have this functional nutrition lens that I'm applying to everything: gut healing, detox, supporting the liver. Everything we do is going to be through the lens of balancing your hormones and with functional nutrition. So the food is the medicine. We are healing our bodies inside and out and using it as a way to shore ourselves up so that alcohol doesn't become the thing that you reach for as your coping mechanism. I drank for every reason under the sun. I drank when days were bad. I drank when days are good. I drank for every reason under the sun. And I'm going to help you unlock that in yourself and make these kind of changes. You guys can do it. If I can do it, I was a daily drinker for over a decade, probably decades. Can I say that now? Plural? Ugh. But I was. But I'm going to go now because I have this tickle in my throat. And so don't forget, Stop Drinking with Cycle Syncing. Give me 50 for $50 off. I would love to see you in there. DM me on Instagram. Reach out in email. Let me know what you want out of this program. And I want to deliver. I want to deliver everything that's going to make this easier for you. So thank you so much. And until next time, I'm with you. You got this.